Hello runners, welcome back to the channel. Today we have a 10-minute follow along mobility routine designed specifically for masters runners. So if you are over 35 years old, this routine is for you. This video is broken down into 3 parts and all the timestamps are going to be down below in the description, so you can jump to the part that it's more interesting for you. So the first part, we're going to talk about when to do this routine, what are the options you have, and what are the benefits of doing this routine at different times of the day. The second part, we're going to talk about the 8 great benefits mobility routines have for runners. And the third part is the 10-minute follow along, so you can do the routine with me. I'm going to explain to you every one of the movements, and I'm going to demonstrate how to do them as properly as possible. So to start when to do this mobility routine, there are 2 great times to do them. The first one is right in the morning, right after you wake up, right after you maybe go to the bathroom. One great to wake your body up is doing this kind of routines. If you think about it, we are lying down on the bed for 7, 8, 9 hours during the night, so all of our joints get a little stiff. And as we grow older, you can start to feel this stiffness more in the morning. And this is a great way to wake up and to start the day in a better way. I once heard a person saying that this mobility routine is like drinking a cup of coffee. And we're going to talk about the benefits and why that person can feel that way waking up because of the benefits. The second moment to do this mobility routine is right before you run. So, because if you are sitting all day, it's just a great way to prime your body. And also we're going to talk about the benefits in a second, but right in the morning after you wake up or right before you run are the 2 great moments to do this routine. I usually do them 2 times. If I'm running in the late afternoon, I do it in the morning to wake up, and I do it in the afternoon right before my long run. And going into the benefits, there are 8 primary benefits of doing these types of mobility routines. And the first one is enhanced range of motion. As we grow older, our joints start to get stiffer if we don't work on them. And if our joints are stiffer, our running economy and our running form, our running efficiency is going to get hindered because we are using more power. We need more strength to move our legs or our arms or our body, because if something is stiff, we need our muscles to compensate and to help us do that movement. So enhanced range of motion helps us tremendously to become more efficient runners. The second one is enhanced muscle activation. Sometimes we are not used to using some kind of muscles, and if, for example, your glutes get really tired when you are running, or your quads get really tired at the beginning of your runs, it's because your muscles are not being activated correctly, and this mobility routine is going to help you fix that. The third one is really tied to the first one, but it's injury prevention. The more mobile we are, and if you pay attention, I'm not saying we are more flexible. Runners, by definition, are not flexible people, not as yoga people or Pilates people, for example. But when we have an improved range of motion in our joints, we are more balanced runners, and we also reduce our chances of getting injured. The fourth one is that we improve our posture, right? We as runners and as people, I don't know you, but most of us are sitting all day working. Don't work on our upper body, don't work on our back mobility, don't work on our shoulder mobility, and having all of those parts of our body more mobile will help us to improve our form and, in consequence, improve our running economy. Number 5 is that we are increasing our blood flow to our whole body. So we are getting all our muscles and our joints ready for the pounding of running. Number 6 is neuromuscular coordination. As you will see in a moment, we're going to do a lot of exercises in one leg. So improving our coordination will help us become better runners. And if we think also about becoming older people, being more balanced is a great way to have as we grow older. Number 7 is that a mobility routine will help us become less stressed and be more relaxed. How, do you ask? When our muscles are tense, all of our body is tense, and our emotions are directly linked to our body awareness and our body posture. So if you are tense all the time, if your back, if your shoulders, if your legs are tense because you are stressed, just releasing them will help you become less stressed as a consequence of that. And number 8 is that we will improve the proprioception of our body. Just doing these mobility routines will help you become more aware of your body, and we will help you improve as a runner because your body is more in sync as you do these routines for a long, long time, and you improve the proprioception of how your body moves and how the floor, for example, feels in your feet, or when we are standing in one leg, how different parts of our body are compensating to help us not fall down. And without further ado, let's move into the follow along 10-minute mobility routine. So this is a full body mobility routine. So we're going to start with our head and work all the way to our ankle. So let me start a timer to be as close as possible to 10 minutes. Sometimes it's a little longer, sometimes it's a little shorter, but around 10 minutes, it's a great way to do it. So let's do it. We're going to start with some neck mobility. The goal here is not to go all the way. It's not to feel pain. It's just to move our body. So we're going to start saying no, maybe 10 times on each side. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There are days that you're going to be able to go more to one side to the other, and that's okay. Your mobility will change day after day. Then after this, we're going to do something called the bell movement because we're going side to side to now work on the side of our neck. A lot of the names I'm going to tell you today are based on the names my kids invented for this movement. So bear with me, okay? I think they are funny, and I think it helps me remember the next movement. After that, we're going to go front and back. This might look a little funny, but you're going to go as in front as you can and as back as you can. And if you're like me that have really bad posture, this is a great exercise to perform. I usually recommend people to repeat the exercise. They are feeling more stiff that day. Sometimes it's your hips, sometimes it's your neck, but we are aiming between 16 and 20 movements for each one of the movements, or repetition of the movements. And finally, we already moved our head side to side. We said no, we moved it side to side, front and backwards. We're going to tight up everything into one big circle. So 10 times to one side. I don't know you, but sometimes after I sleep terribly or I sleep in a bad position, doing this, just this part of the neck exercises help me tremendously to wake up and to feel better. So perfect. Our neck and our head area is covered. Let's move into our shoulders. We're going to start with 10 shoulder movements or big circles to the front. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And 10 to the back. 4, 5. If you see, I have no pressure, I have no rush into doing this routine. And then we are going to do little circles going up. We are not going to count them. We're just going to go little circles going up. And to the other side, little circles going down. And we are going to finish with big circles to the back. 10, 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 10 to the front. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Perfect. Now we're going to move our wrist. If you are typing on your phone or you are typing on your computer all day, moving your wrist is a great way to release some stress there. 10 to one side. We'll switch. 10 to the other. We're already almost 4 minutes into the routine. And pretty much our arms and our shoulders are done. Now we're going to start mobilizing our back. So we're going to cross our arms and go without turning your hips. It's very important. Just plant your feet on the ground and move. Sometimes I usually can't go way farther on one side to the other. Let's do 6 or 7 to each side. There are 2 on each side. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Perfect. 10. And for me, this next part is one of the most important parts of the routine, mobilizing our hips. So right back here, we have a lot of nervous terminations that go into other parts of our body from our spine. So mobilizing this part will not only help you become a better runner, we will help you send better signals to your legs and your extremities. So we're going to start going side to side. My kids call this movement the Mexican. Maybe 8 to each side. 8 to 10 for each side is more than enough. If you are feeling really stiff on that day there, at the end of the routine, you can repeat this movement. So we're going side to side, and you're going to start to see some logic into this when you tie to the head exercises. Now, next we're going to go front to back. This, if you've never done this exercise, or this movement, it's really, really hard, and sometimes you feel that you are not moving your hip, but with practice and with time, you will start to get the movement. So you're going to go to the back, front, back, front. I love this exercise. I think it's one of my favorite movements of this routine because I can really feel a lot of cracks. And when I finish this movement, I usually start to feel way better, and I even feel the release in my legs. Perfect. And then we're going to tie it up just in the head with big circles. Now, it's really important not to do this. We're not trying to move our legs. We're trying to move our hips, and it's a movement you need to learn to do if you've never done it. But look, it's very different to do this than just to trying to do this. So if you see we're moving back, front, side, back, side, front, side, back. Okay? Now you tie it up, and the movement becomes a little more fluid. My kids call this exercise the Timmy failure, because we couldn't think of a name about that, and we just saw that movie, and that's how old this routine is in my house, if you've never seen that movie. So we switch sides to the other side, the big circles, and we are finishing our hips movement. Now we're going to go into our legs and work on our proprioception and balance. Let me grab a chair. You can do it without holding up. I like to hold up into something for this exercise or movements, because that way I can focus on the movement and not just focus on not falling down. If you have a wall close by, that also works. So we're going to start with leg swings, side leg swings, 10 to 12 on each side. I also feel this movement a lot in my back. We all feel them in different areas, but go as far as you can without feeling any kind of pain. Okay? 10, and then we switch legs. 9, 10. And then I'm going to go, I'm going to do it ideally in the side, front leg swings, right? I have a lot of niggles, or where I feel more stiff after my hips is in my hamstrings, usually after big long runs or speed sessions. So this exercise works great for that. 9, 10, and let's do the other side. Perfect. And with time, you're going to be able to do it like this. I don't recommend it unless you don't have anything to grab on, but it's a great way to see how your balance and your proprioception is improvement. Let's go into the knees, just front and back. This not only works on our knees, but also works on the mobility and flexibility of our ankle. So if you're like me, and I have a lot of usually my weakest link is my Achilles tendons. This is a great exercise to do. We're going to then do big circles with our ankles. 10 to one side, 10 to the other. And we're just 2 movements away. Sometimes when I'm talking, the routine can get a little longer, but we're just 2 movements away. One more for our hips, that it's like where all the power for our legs goes through. So it's really important to have good hip mobility. So 10 and 10, I lost count right there. But it's 10 minutes right now, but we are two movements away. So we're going to sit down with our legs as close as we can to our body, and just we're going to move from side to side. I also feel this exercise a lot in my back. And if you have IT band syndrome or issues with your glute med, that's where you are feeling stiff, this exercise is awesome for that. And we're going to end this routine with some calf raises. It's not per se, it's like a strengthen and mobility exercise, so I love it. And if you don't know, our calves support up to 8 times of our body weight when we are running. So there are 10, 12 times. I'm going to bring the chair back, and we're going to do single leg calf raises, going up and down. If you have a step where your ankle can go below the step, it's a little better for calf raises. So between 10 to 12. If you can't do between 10 to 12, that means your calf muscles are really weak. Ideally, you need to be able to do 25 of these. And in our Run Strong program, it's one of the main tests we have to assess the strength of your calves. And you can learn more about our Run Strong program in the link in the description. So there you have it, almost 12 minutes of mobility routine. The thing with this mobility is that it's not a miracle, right? I want to be really honest here. It's something you need to do consistently. I'm not going to say you need to do it every day. If you do it every day, that's the best, right? But if you are consistent and you do it 5-6 days a week, you will start to see the improvements in the near future. I can tell you that I've been injury-free for the past 7 years. I have some niggles. A niggle is different, right? A niggle is something that it's bothering you, but it's allowing you to keep running. An injury is something that you need to stop running for a week maybe, or for a few days. And I've been injury-free pretty much for the last 7 years. And I attribute a lot of that success to this mobility routine. And don't forget to leave a comment if you are doing the routine with me, and subscribe to get notified when we upload new videos. Bye.